Righteousness is right relationship. Okay? Right relationship. And you and I have a feeling, we have a gut feeling for this, and this is one of the beauties of Revelation. This, in Hebrew, it's tzedakah. If you're doing Greek, it's dikaiosune. Okay, I have to show off my languages. Okay, but it's right relationship. You and I know in our gut when we're right with the people we care about, and even the people that we, maybe don't care about, but we interact with day by day. Did I respect them? Did I honor them? Did I try to do them any bad? Right relationship. Inside of the Bible, it's all about righteousness, right? Relationship with your neighbor, your family, and God. Okay? So there's a place where Revelation pushes this even deeper down the track. It's that. Okay? The word righteousness is deeper than what could be, drawn simply from the realm of natural philosophy and so forth. It's a key word for us, and it's a key word that perfects this. Because if you take a look at the natural justice or the social justice teachings, they begin to speak like this, right? Relationship. Where does our call to relationship come from? Oh my! We're made in the image of the Trinity. And the Trinity is the love of the Father and the Son. The Holy Spirit is the love between the Father and the Son. Our hearts are made in the image of that. We look for relationship throughout our entire life, and rightness, makes that more and more possible, coming and going. And steering toward God makes the rightness of this blossom even more. And then finally, in the middle of this, if I just dance a little bit into the social justice teachings for a second, the other thing that jumps out of that is, wow, when I recognize that I was made for relationship with God, and that He stirs my heart with His Holy Spirit, that He enlightens my path with His words, that He draws me into the resurrection of His Son out of the pure goodness of His love, that He's made each of us and put us into a creation in which our life is a gift, and creation is a gift. The law of the gift is ultimately what our Father patterns before us. The giver of life, the giver of all good things, the giver of loves in our hearts, the giver of hope, the giver of salvation. So that in the trek into the deeper levels of the social justice teaching is a sense of beneficence and bounty, that we share and care for the common good, that we open our hearts in more and more generosity to our children, and out in the realm of our community, and out in the realm of our search and sharing truth about God with other people. Does that all make sense? Okay. I think that's wearable. You only have 3 or 4 things here to remember and so forth to take out with you. Now, there's more that could be said, obviously. More that could be said. If there's an alternative lesson 2, okay? A bunch of guys call our Catholic bishops of the United States. They wear pointy hats, okay, at times. Sat down many years ago before the compendium was published, and they came out with 7 principles of Catholic social justice teaching. It's another place for a quick summary, and when I teach a class, sometimes I go to this as a kind of place. Can you memorize this and wear it and describe it to me? And I would give this to my students as part of their midterm test and part of their final test, so they have something to memorize when they get out of the class. But they boiled it down to a couple easy things here. Okay? The life and dignity of the human person. That's a basic thing, right? We're made in the image of God. Okay? And so, from conception, from the womb to tomb, all life is precious. Okay? And between the womb and tomb, too. Okay? This is sometimes the criticism about Catholics. They care about the kid while he's in the womb, but once he's out, you're on your own, buddy. Okay? Well, that isn't the truth. We know this from Mother Frances Xavier Cabrini and saints like that, and all foundations like this about caring for people in the middle there. Okay? The call to family, community, and participation. Because we're made in God's image and God is whatever we are, if we have a hermit inclination in our life, and my name is Elias, Elijah, the hermit prophet, okay, we still need human companionship. Right from Genesis 1 it says it's not good for man to be alone. Okay? We need friends, we need companionship. And the ability to add participation in the groups that we're in, and so forth. Rights and responsibilities. You see what gets missed from most discussions right now, they're all about, and very little about, okay? I want my right! Okay? Well, what are our responsibilities? Let's talk about that for a little while too. But it's a nice balance in the teaching. There's something coming for me, and there's some giving back and justice I should be doing for others. A clear one that comes from God. Option for the poor and the vulnerable. Okay? Option for the poor and vulnerable. In a way, Thomas goes, mercy is God's second name. I think that was, oh wait, that's from John Paul II. I get them mixed up every now and then. Anyhow, God is merciful even in creating us because He calls us to being out of nothing. And mercy is being benevolent when the other isn't, it's not justice, it's beyond justice. Benevolent when the other is unworthy of it. Okay? He's merciful in saving us, giving us divine life. We can't merit that on our own. That has to be a gift from God. Okay? And pure and vulnerable to suffering. Okay, all through the Old Testament. If you're going to be my people, if you're going to be my kids, you've got to act like your dad. Okay? Who's always mindful of the poor and vulnerable. And bringing the Israelites out of Egypt is one of those moments of him being mindful of the poor and vulnerable. Yes?
What do you mean by option?
Option, it's a first concern. Okay? It's a first concern. Who are the poor in my midst? Who are the, and there's a lot of kinds of poverty. Okay, and then this is one of the growing discussions inside of the social doctrine. The dignity of work and workers' rights. Okay, this is who we are, and this is part of our self-expression as human beings. Our work, it's precious. Okay, and the dignity of the worker is the higher thing. It's not just that work is not for the sake of the product; it's for the sake of the worker. Okay. Solidarity, that's the concern for the common good, for each and every person. Okay, each and every person, common good. And then finally, one that comes out of that to a certain extent, care for God's creation. This is a pretty good list. This is a pretty good list. I don't know if any of you have had the chance to read through this. You could die while you're reading this, okay? Honestly, it's a lot of work to get through this, a lot of good Bible verses in there and so forth. But when you see how it's arranged to go like